Hello and welcome back to the Liverpool Groove. I don't really know what to say anymore about this season. It's just up and down. It's a mess. It's just, yeah, it's a calamity. Like, it's just all over the place. You have a couple of good games. You think you've turned the corner. I didn't get my hopes up after Carabao, in fairness, but the Newcastle game coming from behind the way we did. I know Newcastle aren't having the greatest of seasons themselves, but you look at the squad, they've still got a really good squad. They're still a hard team to beat. And then to do what we've done against them, you think, all right, yeah, maybe something's fucking can be done. Now maybe we can sort of rectify the season a little bit. And then, City come to Anfield, absolutely dominate the first half. Don't give us a look in. We look like the away team. It might as well have been the Etihad. Second half, I've seen a few people say we were great second half and we were good second half. I don't think that was the case. I think we were better second half, and it's sort of clouding the judgment a little bit of some people. I don't think the second half performance was great by any stretch of the imagination. As I say, I just think we were better. We attacked more. We looked like we wanted it a bit more for a large portion of the second half, granted. But overall, the performance, I honestly feel like we got what we deserved, in all honesty.
I disagree in the second half, but the first half I went down for a pint at 35 minutes because we hardly touched the ball. It was embarrassing. The fans was embarrassing. I was on the left-hand side of the main stand, so I was closer to their fans, but their fans were non-stop. They were throwing the scouse jabs at us without any retaliation from ourselves. Our fans were shite, couldn't hear the cop at all. So that was annoying me. Then the football in front of us, as you say, it was like being at their ground. They had all complete control of the game. They put us where they wanted us and dictated the play. We were like little puppets. They let us have the ball when we weren't dangerous, which was all the first half. And yeah, we were just chasing shadows. Went down for a pint, was debating going. Well, I went down for a piss on 35 and I thought, fuck it. There's no point. We're not going to have a shot. What is the point? So I stayed down there sulking. My dad followed me fucking 2 minutes later and he was the same. He was just like, might as well stay down here. Without even knowing, we'd missed the first 5 minutes of the second half because we just stayed down there and was just talking. No one was, again, you usually hear a bit of a roaring, they've kicked off. There was nothing. The fans were fucking dead. I thought, from what I've seen, we come out on 49 minutes and it was just non-stop Liverpool for 20 minutes. Relentless pressure, chasing every ball, trying to win duels, win tackles, getting in behind, putting the ball across the box. What you'd expect a Liverpool team to do at Anfield. So I get what you're saying, that it weren't like amazing, but considering the football we've been playing, it was well better than what we'd seen. It was like a matter of time before we scored a goal. And then as soon as we scored the goal, another moment of brilliance, I just fucking knew what was about to happen. And it knocked me sick. I didn't really go over the top in the celebration for the goal because I knew what was about to unfold. And I knew exactly that was going to kill our game. And our game completely ended the minute that ball hit the net. We stopped playing. And I don't, for the life of me, know why. I don't know what happens, whether it's in the players' heads or it's an order from the sidelines, but how you can have them on the ropes. It was like, we've knocked them down in a fight. We could have knocked them out, completely knocked them clean out, scored 3 or 4 goals. The pressure we were putting them under, they were making mistakes, they were nervy. We just, I can't get, it's like you've just knocked them down and then you fight the rest of the fight with your arms behind your back so they've got a chance. That's what we done. They had no chance. They didn't come near our goal, didn't threaten us at all. The minute we scored, we retreated, we went back, we went nervous, we went shaky, we stopped attacking, played a completely different manner, different body language from the play. It was fucking outrageous. It was bizarre. And I don't know where it's coming from. Because I stood there and I watched Arnie Slot getting agitated, sort of Mourinho in it, running up the sideline alongside them, telling them to press, telling them to go forward, telling them to pass it forward. He was pissed off. And he'd done it in the first half and he'd done it in the second half and he'd done it at 1-0 and he was the same as us in the stands. It was like he knew what was about to happen and how the game was about to unfold and he was trying to puppet it from the sidelines not to happen and the players just pack in, and I don't know why it happens. But I thought second half, we battered them, absolutely battered them to a pulp, deserved to win the game until the goal, and then you don't deserve to win the game, because if you're going to let Man City have 20 minutes of possession at Anfield and put you under pressure for that long, you deserve to get beat. So we deserve to lose the game because of ourselves.
Yeah, and that's the point I was making. You've just articulated it better, in fairness. But no, I think second half we did play a lot better up until we scored, like you say. And it was, like you say, it was just what you want to see from a Liverpool team. And I think, I don't know, this season has probably spoiled everything in that respect, because I think even when you do sort of look good in a game and you think to yourself, we probably didn't deserve that, it just feels so much worse because of what the season's been like overall. I think if that was last season and we'd played and battered City second half and they've scored 2 late goals, you take it on the chin and go, you know what, yeah, fair enough. But this season, the way it's gone, it's hard to go, yeah, fair enough, because of the way it's gone. I think, yeah, like you say, I don't know what it is. It doesn't seem like it's an instruction from Arne Slot and his staff, but is it? I've seen people say it's fatigue. Why are we getting fatigued after 70 minutes? I know the squad. And don't get me wrong, I know a lot of that is squad size, and I've said it before, Slot has been let down in that respect, because the squad isn't up to scratch in terms of size, because, you know, people will throw it out all the time. Oh, you spent 450 million in the summer and blah, this, that, and the other. But all we done is replace who we sold. We didn't bring anybody into the actual squad, realistically. The bench is the same as what it was last season, more or less. So he's been let down in that respect. But I don't know. It's just it's nearly every game at the minute. You know what I mean? It's getting to a point, and you know, there's people now. There's been people having conversations about Slot for a while. I haven't engaged in any of them, because I simply just don't think he's going anywhere until the summer at the very, very earliest. And even then, with FSG, because of the fact that he's won the league and stuff like that, they might not even pull the trigger then.
Yeah, it's an hard one because he's won the league, but I'm on the fence. I'm contradictory of myself. I argue with people and then they say stuff about him and I have his back and I defend him whilst agreeing with them, if you get me. So it's a hard one. I don't want to see us sack a manager who's won the league, but I don't want to be paying money to watch that football anymore. So it's a catch-22. The first half was horrendous. It wasn't Liverpool. It wasn't Anfield. The fans, I've had to go with the fans. I thought the fans were absolutely shit because it was Man City at Anfield, and it shouldn't take a brilliant start to the game to trigger you to support your team, especially in the biggest, massive games of the season that you have to win. But I do understand the fans who are going, and before it even kicks off, it's negative, and then you see us play the way we're playing, and it's hard to get behind it because there's nothing to cheer. There's not even a fucking tackle you could cheer. Buddy, stop it. There's not even there's not a tackle. There's not a fucking ounce of interest from the players that makes you get up for it. It annoys me. And then the second half, you've got the likes of Kanate and that fucking willing the crowd on. I just made the tackle, and you've got the players going for it. I think, the first 5 minutes or so, I think we started, and Ekatike had a little go at the crowd, and Kanate, and it was like, like, well, that's not bigging the players up, is it? The players aren't really going to fucking react to that. And again, when you're playing the way you're playing, we're not really going to react, so it's hard. But there's just it doesn't feel like going to watch Liverpool anymore. That's all I can say. It doesn't feel like being in Anfield anymore. And I've moaned about the atmosphere for years, but then big games always put a tear in your eye. You're at home, you're at Anfield, and you feel like it's a big game. And that was gone yesterday before anything started. The feeling around the ground, there's just no feel to it anymore. And I think, Liverpool Football Club, for a lot of us, is our get out when we feel a little bit shit in that, and it gives you the social aspect of meeting up with your mates and that. And the way they're playing is killing it for all of us. No one's enjoying going to the match. You could buy tickets up to the day yesterday. It's that that fucking hunger from the fans to be there is going, because there's nothing really to watch. It's not like watching our club, and I don't know who to blame for that, but it's upsetting, it's annoying, it's fucking winding me up, because I've been offered tickets and I've turned ticket down because I don't want to go and watch them. I don't want to pay 60 quid to go and sit there next to some wall who hasn't got a fucking clue, who doesn't give a fuck how we play, wants to take photos. But on top of that, I've got a team that don't look like they give a fuck about us. And I've got a manager who's going to come out and make an excuse at why we're playing that way. And I'm just like, it's just fucking not Liverpool anymore. I want my manager to come out and go, do you know what? That first half was fucking dog shit. We were shite. So I had to go with them at the second half, and they come out and play better. And then I don't know what happened. I don't know why we stopped playing. I want them to come out and be transparent and say, I'm telling them to fucking play like that. I'm not telling them to. I want them, and they're not listening. Then even that's a big problem, because if they're not listening to his instructions to go and get the second goal or the third goal, then there's big problems, because they don't trust. So I don't know where it's coming from. There's no simple fix. I don't know. I physically can't put. Like I was saying to me dad before, you know, like what we used to say under Klopp when we were conceding goals to the right, and you go, it's Trent. You take Trent out the team, and you put Conor Bradley there, and you shore that right side up. We know we're leaking goals because Trent's going up and not getting back. There's none of that. I can't put my finger on who the problem is on the pitch, where the leaks are. It's all individual errors, but it's all also systematic shite where we do things stupid. It's like we've never played together before. So, again, I'll contradict myself loads here, because I don't know whether I want him in or I want him out, or I fucking think it's the players or I think it's him. I just don't know anymore. Physically don't know. And one moment I'm looking at it and I'm going, it's got to be him. Like, them players have got to be under instruction. But then I'm watching him with my own eyes on the sideline, fuming, asking him to go up the pitch. So I just don't know. And I don't know where we go. And I don't know what we do, because it's not the Liverpool way to sack a manager at this moment in time. But if you also take away the 5 flukes we got at the beginning of the season, we could be in a relegation battle. That's the genuine seriousness of it. We got 3 or 4 wins at the beginning of the season that we should never have got. And without them wins, we would be in we would be close to the bottom.
I think someone said that if we hadn't won them 5 at the start of the season, we'd be 17th. But I don't know if that's basing it on the fact if we'd have lost them or drew them or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, they've bailed out our season. I said this to someone on Twitter before. You know, if it wasn't for them 5 games at the beginning of the season, we would be in the shit. You know, 6 wins since September is diabolical. It's just pathetic. You know, we've lost 5 games at home this season in all competitions. I think someone said Klopp only lost 6 in like 140 odd games with fans there. Obviously, I know we had that little run without the fans there, which I think we all just kind of forget about, bit of an anomaly. But yeah, I don't know. Anfield just isn't a fortress, is it, anymore?
It's not, lad.
It's lost its mystique this season. It's lost its, like, you know, if Arsenal had to come to us next week, Mikel Arteta wouldn't be playing. He'd never walk alone in training like he used to. You know what I mean? He just wouldn't.
I don't know what that's down to, because again, the club as a whole, mate, is just. I was outside the ground and was a bit sectioned off. If you were in hospitality, you couldn't go up the whole main stand. You couldn't go up the right side of the main stand if you were in hospitality. They'd segregated a whole stand off for the people with the money. And we had to walk around and go to the left and walk up the steps. And when we got to the steps, it was barricaded in the middle. So if your turnstile was the other side, it was fucking bonkers. It was just shit. And you're watching people all fucking suited and that walking into the hospitality, and you're getting just walking in, double doors, not a fucking thing, and you're getting patted down and checked with fucking ones and that. The lads I went to match with, me and my dad went in at half 3 because we'd heard of how bad it is to get in the ground. We to be fair, it took us 20 minutes to get in. They left at half 3. They got in at 4:25. So that's your whole day is ruined by the club doing what they're doing with the old fucking checks and that. Say the feeling round the stadium beforehand doesn't feel like going to watch the match. There's no excitement. It's almost as if the match is going to get in the way of what's was a good day until we went the match. The atmosphere from the word go, not the same. You'll never walk alone when it's sung, hasn't got the same passion. When the Jota chant's getting done, it's like a chore. It's like you feel, there's people tapping, people saying, you know what this means, don't you? This is for Jota, who died. And they're like, oh, phone out. And there's too many people in the ground that shouldn't be there. And that's got nothing to do with the performances on the pitch. But as a fortress, when Liverpool are struggling, you need that raw, you need that fight and hunger to get behind the team. People are getting, I fucking hold myself accountable as well. I'm going down for a fucking pint at 35 minutes in because I can't sit and watch it anymore. So it's one of them, lads. There's people in the ground that aren't there to support the team, and the likes of myself who are there most of the time. There's something gone in us. There's a fire that's burnt out in us because we're not enjoying what we're seeing, and it's hard to get behind. So Anfield is a fortress, and then you throw all that into the mix with a team that is letting the opposition, and I've said this to you before, regardless of it being Man City or Arsenal, you'd expect that a little bit because they're better than us at the moment, but you're letting Bournemouth, you're letting fucking Newcastle, you're letting fucking Sunderland have possession against you, and you're like, Nottingham Forest running you ragged at your own ground and making a show of you, and you're like, that's not Liverpool. We should be putting pressure on them, we should be making them feel the fucking wrath of Anfield, and with you penetrating and pushing and pushing and pushing, comes the crowd with it, and we're not doing it. And say we've done it for 20 minutes yesterday, crowd come up, went up a notch or two, was a lot better, and then we scored, and then it was like the cop just got off as soon as we scored. There was no like will us on to win. It was a few songs for 2 or 3 minutes, and then the nerves kick in. You know what's about to happen, and again, I can't blame anyone for that because I was the same. I said to me dad, when we scored, we'll get beat here. We'll stop playing. And we
straight, like almost immediately, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Let's try and sort of talk about some of the actual talking points from the game, at least. Because I think regardless of the result, it'd be unfair if we didn't talk about Szoboszlai's goal a little bit. Because it was absolutely fucking ridiculous. Where they're winning any game, and like you say, we switched off. But like that was better than his Arsenal one. It was just unbelievable. The keeper Donnarumma had no chance. Like it was past him before he'd even seen it. It was just out of this world. It's one of the best goals I've ever seen.
Yeah, do you know what? It's fucking horrible that it took all the shine off it. It's just, it shouldn't be a goal that is in a losing game, but it is, unfortunately. And as I say, I didn't really celebrate it because I knew the worst thing that we could have done was score, and it knocked me sick. It going in because I knew what was about to happen. It was going to be 20 minutes. If that would have been the 90th minute, it's been fucking pulling me out and going off my tits. But with there being so long left, I just knew we were going to stop playing. So, yeah, I said to my dad before he hit it, he's going to whack this the roof of the net. And my dad was like, it's too far. I said, not for him. And obviously I had no control over it, but I believed in him. I believed he could do it. If anyone can do it, it was him. And what an absolute fucking wonderful strike it was. It's just, again, just gutting, and it's with this bunch of gutless twats who he's scored for, because, the goal, world-class goal, the celebration, the bit of arrogance from him when he scored, and you're like, yeah, let's go and do this. But again, if that was Liverpool a couple of seasons ago, we're winning that 2-3-0.
Yeah.
We're blowing the fucking roof off, and we're going at them, and we're not loosening the fucking hold until it's over. Now it's like, let's protect this at all costs. And I do get it a little bit because they're a fucking nervous wreck, but in a game where they haven't worried us for 25 minutes, they've hardly been in our half, we've completely got control of the game. I don't know what switches to change us to play like that. But yeah, the goal itself, just surreal.
Yeah.
One of the best free kicks you'll ever see. The way he's hit it, the technique, the power of it. Before it's left his foot, it's hit the post and in. It's unbelievable. It's world class. It just completely means nothing, though.
I know.
It's
a shame, innit? Like, It's filed alongside fucking Christian Benteke at Old Trafford now, isn't it? Like the
What
overhead.
one? No, but that's what it's like, lad. And it's just so you remember them big goals. Obviously, that'll get shown on LFC TV in years to come, and you'll be like, "Fucking hell, remember that goal? What a goal!" Because the result won't hurt. But at the moment, it's like, just fucking delete it. It's not pointless, waste of fucking time.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's sad because I do feel sorry for him because he, like, there's that conversation about him playing right back as well. And how can you play a player like that right back when you've got a right back on your bench? It's just beyond belief. But he's obviously seeing and saying that he doesn't trust Ramsey. So again, like you've got your best player, the best player in our team is Szoboszlai, future captain, does everything by fucking design, does everything by quality, by his level of performance. Not so much a big speaker, but there's your captain for the future, and rightly so. And you're asking him to play right back because you haven't got a right back, but you've got a right back on the bench. I don't get it. Like we had no midfield that first half. McAllister and Gravenberch. Gravenberch might as well have been playing for Man City because every time he got the ball, he passed it straight back to them. Every time he won the ball, he passed it into a blue shirt. It was fucking bizarre. It's just McAllister non-existent until his shot at the end. Might as well have not been on the pitch. And you've got Szoboszlai there who'll run rings around there midfield playing right back. And the only player who really got forward for us in the first half was Szoboszlai from right back.
Yeah.
So, again, I don't know what's going on with that. Where is that? I've just said to me dad before on the phone, now if he puts all his eggs in the basket with Ramsey there and Ramsey plays and gets absolutely roasted and we get beat 3-0 from goals from his side, Arne Slot gets the blame. So we can't really win. But don't put him in the fucking squad if you're not going to play him. What is the point of him being in that squad if he's not going to get a game when he's the only right back available and he's not playing? So put him out of his fucking misery and shoot him if you want. Stop putting him in the squad because it's our lads.
And then you go on to Sunderland now with obviously Szoboszlai, the incident at the end, which we'll come to in a minute, and then for a fact it's going to be Jones there against Sunderland, and again, yeah, he might do a reasonable job for the game, but it's like you miss. Curtis Jones was another one this season. I think he's been very good for the most part this season, and I think I mean, don't get me wrong, he's messed up yesterday with that fucking pass that he had the easy pass on for Salah at the end, or at 1-1, I think it was still, and he hasn't made it. So, like, it's all his fault on Twitter, though. Like, it's a bit crazy to me, but he should have made the pass. Don't get me wrong, but
he tried to make the pass and it got into set again. He should be playing in fucking Holland or Germany though, because he's just too slow, and that's the thing. Like we say about Curtis Jones, he's a nice player on the iron. He's a bit sticky and he can do this and that, but when the going gets tough and you need a player to grab the game by the scruff of the neck, he doesn't do it. He slows us down, and he had it yesterday. He had it on the half turn, could have passed it to the right, never clung onto it, lost the ball. But there was also a thing, and I wanted to run on the pitch and punch him in the fucking face. He had the ball bounced, and he had to stick a leg out to prevent their attack, and he just let them go past him. And I was just watching him going, how have you not gone to ground there to win that ball? Any other fucking person from Liverpool there slides in and wins that ball at all costs.
Or takes the yellow at the very least.
He stood there and watched them all walk past him, and I was just like, there's not a fucking chance. The only thing I can say for that is if from the other side of the pitch, he wasn't as close as I thought. He looked like the only way he couldn't win that ball is if he didn't try and win the ball, and he didn't try. So, I thought he'd come on and was shite. But again, when he's been used, he's been had a decent season considering how shit we've been. I don't understand how McAllister's starting at Adam at the moment because he's shite. He's been crap. He's not worth the carry on. He's like playing with 10 men. And then he does the odd thing and he's got that magic in his locker. Like if that goes in yesterday, fucking all forgotten. Well done, McAllister. But for 90 minutes, he was passive. Not really there. Legs look like they want to fucking run without him. He's holding himself back. So I don't know how Jones isn't getting a start ahead of him at the moment. I don't know how Ramsey's not starting ahead of anyone. I don't know how Gakpo's getting on the pitch. Some of the team selections are bonkers based on the performances of the players. So you can run them into the ground as much as you want, but when they're not doing anything for us, you know, I understand, like, if it's Ekatike, for instance, who's scoring every few games and he's putting us on the front foot and he's assisting and he's fucking dangerous non-stop. Yeah, you'd have to run him into the ground because you haven't got another striker, so he's got to play. But, like, fucking Gakpo, I'd play Jones on the left if I had to, or Wirtz on the left, or fucking Real Engamoa on the left. Anyone who's going to make something happen. It's just, he just sticks with the same team, and that, again, that's a slot issue. So I can't defend him on that because it pisses me off. Hate it. I fucking hate it, lad. I don't know what you're like anymore.
I know. Just want to circle back though to the game because, as I say, there is a couple of other incidents that probably need talking about. I think the gay fucking pull on Salah in isolation. I think, you know, they've probably give the excuse that Rodri's there to cover, which now that I've seen it back a couple of times, he wasn't. But when you see the fucking farce of a fucking whatever you want to call it at the end with Szoboszlai and Haaland, you know, I just don't get it. How can you rule something out for a denial of a goal scoring opportunity after a goal's been scored? like, and it's and don't get me wrong. I was saying this yesterday. By the letter of the law, they've probably come to the right decision. But when you look at it and say the words out loud, it sounds absolutely fucking stupid.
Just where you need common sense to prevail, don't you? Like,
everybody would have preferred the third goal. We keep Szoboszlai, they get a third goal. It meant nothing to the result.
No. And, well, again, it's just one of them. It's like Sunderland will complain and Arsenal will complain because that's going against the law to benefit both of us, really. So I understand it, but the law, like, is it Gallagher who speaks on the fucking whatever the footy show is, and he was saying that because Szoboszlai is being fouled, that's why they had to bring it back. So they brought it back for the Szoboszlai foul, but then brought it back for
the advantage went. The advantage was no more because Haaland found Szoboszlai, but because he's played the advantage, he's then had to give the free kick and a red card for Szoboszlai. It's fucking stupid, like you say. Common sense should have prevailed, but by the letter of the law, it probably was the right decision. But then again, I bring it up because you've got to look at the Gay one, and Salah was practically in the box. He would have been in the box if Gay hasn't grabbed him, and he's got a free shot on goal. Now, don't get me wrong, Salah at the moment probably wouldn't have fucking buried it anyway, but that's not the point. The point is, he was the last man. He should have went. And
I was more pissed off with Salah for not continuing to run.
Yeah, there is that as well.
And I don't know why. And I don't know what force was in the pull. It looked like it was forceful, but
it ripped the shit.
He's not. It's not stopping him from getting to that ball if he wants to get to the ball, in my opinion. So, but again, we've discussed this loads of time. When players don't go down and they carry on and he gets the advantage and he has the shot and he misses, he gets the blame for fucking staying up.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't go down, he doesn't stop. But that's just, again, the difference is when the Szoboszlai one, there's not a fucking goalie in the goal either. So, like, it's a goal, isn't it? It's a nailed-on goal, so that's why it's a red card, because there's no goalie and there's no one else other than Szoboszlai. Whereas Rodri, we don't know whether Salah's going to score. We don't know whether Rodri's going to make it back to block it, and we don't know if the goalie's going to make a save. So that's why. Whereas Haaland is just fucking
got an open goal.
Basically scored. So, yeah, again, it's things like that lightened the mood when we got back to the pub. Because, again, everyone was agitated in the pub. We were all arguing amongst ourselves over fucking chairs in the pub. Fella walked in, tried to sit down where we were. Our mates are sitting there, can't reserve fucking seats. My dad was like, you fucking can, watch this. My dad started piling all the seats together. He's on foot, do you want to buy a seat? Do you want to buy a seat? Do you dickhead? So I got all fucking ratty in the pub. And then we're just sitting there, all of us, and just started laughing, going, what are we doing? What's this club done to us? and we were all fucking ended up having a drink with them. You're like, that's the mood at the minute. Everyone just walked into that boozer, agitated, pissed off, gutted, and I think it was made worse that we all knew what was about to happen. And that's the heartbreaking thing is not really. It didn't seem like there was a big let off for our goal. And I'm thinking about it, and then I'm like, I don't know whether I'm just being dramatic because I've had people messaging me on East Coast Republic saying, no, the atmosphere was good. I'm like, it fucking weren't. It was shite. People saying it was bouncing. I'm like, for maybe 10 minutes just before we scored and just after we scored. But I was next to the Man City fans, and we didn't top their noise at any point. Not once. Our ground didn't sound noisy because of us than them at any point. They literally outsung us on our ground, and then they're singing the song about us getting battered in the streets, which refers to Sean Cox, and there was no retaliation from Liverpool, and that knocked me sick. Nothing from us, like nothing, nothing. It was just embarrassing. So yeah, I thought it just was. Yeah, keep going back to the fucking atmosphere. It pissed me off, but the saving grace for our day was that there was a little bit of fucking fun at the end, and it bailed us out the shit because everyone was going straight home and gloomy. And that little situation at the end of the game was like to give us something to talk about. At least that isn't all that negative. But yeah, it was like.
Yeah, you'll never fucking see a situation like that again, I don't think. It was batshit crazy. There was also the whole fucking, you know, they were looking at a pen for us at the same time, which just nothing seemed to get said about it at all. Like they said, I think when Cherky got the ball and hit it, they were still looking at a possible penalty for us, and then that's gone in and all that's happened, and they've just completely forgot about it. It never got mentioned again.
Just pretending it happened.
Literally. So I haven't even seen if it was or not. It was mental. But yeah, I mean, look, we got Sunderland on Wednesday. I don't think there's many going into that positive, optimistic, even a little bit. I think I seen the other day they're the only unbeaten home team in the league or something this season, which might be untrue. I don't know where I've seen that, or I think they might still be unbeaten at home at least. They might not be the only one, but I'm not too sure. But yeah, I've got no belief that we'll go and do anything. I have belief that we go and do something against Bournemouth, who hadn't won for 13 games, and then we didn't. And then I had not much belief going into the Newcastle game, and we fucking turned up. And then, yeah, it's just whatever I feel about the game, the opposite happens lately. So yeah, I'm fucking dreading it.
I'm just sick of feeling like started getting back into it a little bit. Started to feel a little bit up for it and be a bit excited, and I was looking forward to the Man City game, and then it just brings you down a peg or two. Like it literally does, it kills you. And so the best part of the day is being with your mates, and the footy kills you. So at the minute, it's like I couldn't stand there with my fucking chest out and go, we're going to twat Sunderland, because I don't believe it. Again, the football we play compared to the football they play, I don't even know whether we'll have a shot. I don't think we'll have a shot on. Like, I'd usually be sat there going, oh, I'll do Salah shot on target, Szoboszlai shot on target, Van Dijk fucking header. I don't feel like we do anything. Don't feel like we're dangerous off set pieces. Like, unless Szoboszlai shooting, we're not dangerous from throw-ins, corners. We don't play football in behind the lines. We don't play anything majestic to get you off your seat. It's either individual brilliance for a second or nothing. So, yeah, not looking forward to it. And again, I've said before, I don't know who to blame, but I honestly think if we lose to Sunderland and go out the cup Saturday, I think he's physically got to go. 100% has to be gone. And whether they put someone in as an interim manager, if that's the case, then it's got to happen. It's got to, because if they can't beat Sunderland and they can't stay in the cup, then they've give up. They've totally give up. And if they have give up, then he's got to go. And I do feel a bit sorry for him, because I think he's had a bastard of a deck of cards handed to him this season. I think the transition, I think everything everything from top to bottom, if you want to list it. He's lost a player who's passed away. He's had to deal with that, and he's dealt with it brilliantly when he spoke to the media, and he's been nothing but class about the Jota situation. He's then had to manage that group of lads whilst probably grieving himself as well. He's had to manage that null in probably personality in the dressing room and all the laughing jokes. The buzz of everything has obviously gone for a bit. He's then a transitional period of signing all these new players and replacing players with potential talent. So Florian Wirtz was a brilliant player in Europe, but he's come in and from the left-hand side, is he going to do as much as Diaz from the off? No. Is he going to create as much as Diaz or score as much as Diaz from the off? No. Is he going to work as hard as Diaz from the off? No. Is Cody Gakpo going to take that role up from Diaz and do the same? Clearly not, because he hasn't. Trent Alexander-Arnold, Scouser playing in your team, practically having a cheat code at right back who can set you up from 60 yards. Is Salah going to miss that? Is Salah going to enjoy playing with Gomez at right back, then Jones, then Szoboszlai, then Conor Bradley, then Frimpong? No. The whole system's gone to shit because of injuries, because of lack of depth. There's just all sorts that are heading away from him that aren't in favour of him and they aren't helping him. But then you look at the football we're playing and the football on display and the lack of belief in the players, and bits like that are on him. So it's a 50-50 for me. I feel like he's been handed a bad set of cards, and I'd love to think that we get to the end of the year, we fluke a few wins, we get in the Champions League and we can win a pot, and then we go again. We have a summer, we get some new players in, does the rebuild, and we start winning games and playing an exciting level of football. But do I believe with me all heart that can happen? No, because I think a lot of the football we're playing has got to be down to the manager. And I question it because I don't know, because it's not realistic to be going 1-0 up at Anfield with a crowd like ours and stop playing football. It makes no sense to do it, but it's happening. So, as I've said, if it's him who's telling us to stop playing at 1-0, then he needs to go anyway. If the players are reacting to going up 1-0 because they don't believe the system's going to keep it 1-0, then he has to go. So, I think it's hard. I feel sorry for him a little bit because I think he's had a bit of a nightmare in the season. As you said before, he's bought players, but they've only replaced players that have already gone. We've lost a lot of quality from within the squad, the likes of your Tyler Mortons and your Harvey Elliott's. Whether they were his decision or not, don't know. But in the big grand scheme of things, it's not like he's took over an unbelievable squad with depth beyond belief and had no injuries, and we're still where we are. Do you know what I mean? He's had a tough time, and I don't know what the best outcome is, because you don't want to lose a manager who has won you the league and he's got the best out of probably Gravenberch, Szoboszlai so far. Got the best out of players like that. You're seeing the spells in football when we're playing well with Ekitike and Wirtz and that. Kirk's looking like the player we really wanted of late. You're starting to see the players getting better, but there's still a lack of belief from them. So, again, I just don't know what's the best thing for Liverpool at the moment to stick or twist. But I do think no matter what happens, if we were to get beat by Sunderland and get beat by Brighton, I think he's got to go.
Yeah, it's tough. As I say, I've said for weeks and weeks, I don't think he goes until the end of the season. If he goes, I think it'll be summer if it happens. But if it's going to happen during the season, it needs to be now. There's no benefit to getting rid of him at the end of March or the start of April. There's no benefit to bringing somebody in for 5 or 6 games to see the season out. There's all this speculation of Alonso and stuff like that. If we go and bring Alonso in to finish the season off to start next season, and he loses 4 or 5 games at the end of the season, that puts the whole fucking reign on a downer straight away. I personally don't want Alonso.
I don't.
I think if the rumours are true and he's going to be available, I'd rather go for Luis Enrique myself. But it's one of them, and it might not even be a conversation we'll be having come the summer. So, but I just don't think it's. Yeah, I think if we're in free fall, don't get me wrong. I think if we do end up in a bit of a free fall and we've lost 7, 8, fucking 9 games on the bounce, go out to Champions League, go out the cup, then yeah, they will have to make a decision. But I just don't think they don't want to do anything to what they perceive to be too rash. They don't want to make a sort of that big of a decision, like you say. He's got that credit in the bank because of the league win. Um, it's it's running low now. Don't get me wrong, it really is. But yeah, I'm probably a bit on the fence with it myself. I just don't think. I don't think we'll do the. If we do it during the season, it'll be too late. I think the timing will be wrong if we end up doing it during the season because I don't think we'll do it anytime soon. I don't think we'll do it this month, and I don't think we'll do it for the majority of March. And if it still hasn't improved by then, making a decision at that point makes no sense to me.
No, I agree. That's what I mean. I think effectively, if we lose to Sunderland and then we lose to Brighton, season's over. Basically, your season's over. You're not going to get top four and you can't win the FA Cup. The likeliness of us winning the Champions League with the level we're playing at is next to none anyway. So I think your season's over. Bring an interim manager in, see how he goes, and then make a decision in the summer whether you think he's done well or not. Make it 100% clear. It's an interim job. It's a temporary role. I'm not going to say who, but there's people out there who will come in part time for a little bit and sign out the club. That doesn't mean that the manager in the summer. It means you've come in at a time we need help and we think someone's better than you're available now. That's fine. Or you do a brilliant job, you work wonders, you get the job on merit. I think if it's not done, if we're out of the cup and we've lost to Sunderland on Saturday, my opinion is there's no way back for him. He's got to go. Whether they do it straight away or they do it in the summer, he's gone. But I just don't know what benefits us. As you say, bringing someone in now who's going to make a few tweaks and he's going to have a likeness to certain players and he already wants rid of some. You're changing the squad round, changing the first 11 round. I just don't think it benefits us. But at this moment, can we get much worse? So whoever comes in, whereas I'd rather be take it on the chin and go, we can see where the new players are starting to grow and starting to get a bit better. We can see how like Szoboszlai is sort of becoming the captain. We can see where we need to improve and where the depth is shite. We just need the football to get a little bit better for longer. You can't be playing at Anfield for 20 minutes a game, so change that 20 minutes to 40 minutes, then to 60 minutes, then to 90 minutes, and start battering teams at home again. The likeliness of that happening next to none because they're all too cautious. The manager's cautious. I don't think, if he's taking, if you look at Slotton, the belief he had in Linders to compare to fucking Arnie Slotton, whoever his assistant is, and then you've got Van Bronckhorst, like, it just doesn't look like it. They have a say. There's no mention of them. They don't exist. I couldn't tell you who the name is.
The only one I know is Sipko Huslov or whatever his name is. Who's his like main assistant.
You just don't see much of them. It's just, yeah, I just don't know how we benefit at all, unless if the decision's going to be that he goes in the summer, you might as well do it now and get someone in temporary. But if we're starting to show signs of improvement and the hierarchy, think this fella's won us a league, albeit weren't with the greatest of football, but he won us the league. He knew how to control a game and keep everyone away from our goal for long periods of time when we were winning. That's fine. We're not doing that now, though. We're letting them play on our 6-yard box and pass it around, and something's gone completely. So, again, I think if you start seeing signs that the new players will come and go, which we are, but the football was getting better, then you see it out till the summer, and then you have the conversation, and then, he gives a list of players he wants and has an interview, basically, and says, this is what my plan is. This is what I've wanted all along. This is the football we're going to play. Here's the tactics. Here's this, here's that. Bear with it. Once it clicks, you go, yeah, sound. I hope it works out for you, and I really do. One bad year, Klopp had them, but Klopp walked on water to us, and that's the difference. he's not Klopp. And had it been him replacing Rafa Benitez or Brendan Rodgers, then there's a lot less negativity towards him, I think, this season. But because he's come in and won the league, then we've had the summer we've had where we all get cocky and arrogant and think we're going to piss the league because the signings we've made. Then you see the reality of the depth we've actually got, and plus the injuries we've actually got. I think you have to just take it with a bit of pinch of salt a little bit and go, it's not the fucking best for us. It's not the best season to judge. So, right now, my idea would be, hopefully, he wins the next few games. Hopefully, we start seeing the level of football we want to see, and we end the season on a high, and he's there in the summer, and then we make a few more signings and a few more tweaks, and we start seeing the football we want to see. But as I say, that could change in the space of a week, and we could get battered by Sunderland and go up the cup on Saturday, and then you'd want him gone. So, again, it's sat on the fence, and there's no real benefit.
There's no right answer, is there?
No, I don't know what I want.
I think
it's annoying because you see the way we play against Marseille and Newcastle and Karabakh, whatever you want to call them, and you're like, that's what Liverpool is. That's how we play. And then you've seen the situation with Canate at the end of the Newcastle game and the togetherness within the squad and the response from the crowds, and that was more like that was Liverpool. And then you turn up at City and it's the opposite again, and you're like, there's something wrong all the way around. I just don't know what it is.
I mean, in an ideal world, we go on this fucking mad run. We turn it around. We get top 4, top 5, and get Champions League next season. And Slot gets a little bit of that back. And again, like I say, in an ideal world, I don't want him sacked, because if he doesn't get sacked and he stays the rest of this, he stays after this season, that means he managed to fucking get us out of the rut and turn it around. And at the end of the day, that's what we all want more than anything. We want us to get out of this rut. We want us to start playing better footy. We want us to start fucking playing like Liverpool again. And if we can do it under Slot, great. If we decide in the summer that we can't do it under Slot, then that decision's got to be made. But yeah, I agree with you. If it's, you get beat on Wednesday, you go out the cup at the weekend, and then you've got to go into the Champions League where we're going to get a tough game, and then you're not going into that with any confidence and things like that. And it's just the season's half over anyway. It's going to disappear in front before your eyes very, very soon. So, as I say, I just don't believe FSG will make that decision during the season. Personally, I don't think they see. I don't know. I don't think they view it as bad as we do.
Yeah, because again, they've spoke to the man off camera, and they see what the real man's about, and they know exactly what the plan is, and we don't. And that's what annoys me, and that's the annoying part is you see a bit of the identity of what you want from Liverpool, and you see how we're going to attack and we're going to press and we're going to do everything you want the Liverpool team to do, and then it stops. So I want him to come out and say, this is how we want to play football, how we want to represent the club, not show us on the fucking pitch. I want to come out and explain that when it's 1-0. I put on Twitter last night, I had one journalist, if anyone's listening to this, ask him why at 1-0 do we stop playing? Is it on him? Is it an instruction, or is the players shitting themselves? Because that transparency could keep him in a fucking job or take a job away from him. Because if he comes out point blank and goes, yeah, at 1-0, we want to protect the lead and we think it's best to do that, fuck off, go, because that's not Liverpool, that's shitting yourself and that's not us. But again, stop dodging questions and stop giving smart ass answers and excuses. Just fucking be transparent and just say, listen, I've come out that game fucking heartbroken because I thought we deserved to win the game, and I don't know what happened. There wasn't an instruction to tell them to stop playing when we scored. I don't know why it happened, and I need to go back and assess it because something's wrong. And yeah, Klopp would have said that. Klopp would have come out and done that, and that's the difference. Is that we knew where we stood with him. I don't know where we stand with Arne Slot because I don't know what he means half the time.
Yeah. No, I know. And it's ironic, isn't it? Because, he's got this reputation. Well, not a reputation. It's he is Dutch, but he's got this, the Dutch have the Dutch have got this reputation of being dead forward and dead like brutally honest about everything, and then he is at times, but at times you don't want him to be, and then when you want him to be a bit more open and upfront and honest, he does. He gives these smart ass answers that that are going to make fucking that end up going viral or something. Like it's as if he knows. He's like, right, what can I say here to fucking make headlines, rather than giving the answer that needs to be said, kind of thing. It's
He just
just
needs to
it's a strange
protect
one.
himself a bit more with his answers, and by doing that, well, answer them and give us something. Agree with us. He must know what the feelings are around the club at the minute. Like I think I understand. I agreed with him the other day when he got asked about his job, and he was like, "I've just won the Premier League," and like he was like, "The fans are questioning," and he was like, "Oh well, I won the league, but yeah, that was last season, and we never blew everyone away." In the sense of how we played, we won a few games convincingly, but they were all fucking edgy games. They were all close. There was no like phenomenal football on display. There's no real heart or character in the team. So we just found a way to win, and that's. I think that's what we miss. I think that his biggest downfall is that he's being compared to Klopp, and when he was brand new, and he come in and he was the complete opposite of Klopp, and everyone bought into it, and they were like, it is a bit refreshing to have the honesty and all that. And now he's getting slated for doing the same things, but it's because he's not Klopp. But as I said before, Klopp had massive tips in form, and there was periods of time where he looked ill because he didn't look like he had a fix, and I think that eventually led him to leave the club because he didn't feel like he was capable of fixing the situation. And you'd like to think if that was the situation now, that the manager would do the same, because Liverpool Football Club deserves better. Our fans deserve better than hiding behind excuses and not entertaining. And that's literally, I've always said, don't care who the manager is, what he's done in the past. If he's at us, be transparent, be on side with the fans. Once you start wavering away and it's like we're on different wavelengths, then you're shooting yourself in the foot. Put that with negative football and you're not entertaining the crowd, you've owned yourself. And at the moment, that's where we're at.
Yeah, I agree. Like I say, just got to fucking persevere, haven't you? Unfortunately, and just fucking see how we get on and hope for the best. As I say, I'd love nothing more for us to turn it around, and if that means Slot keeping his job, then great. Yeah, happy days. I just want us to be fucking better.
The problem you've got, lad, you've got people who don't go to the match having a lot to say on social media and that. I've had back and forth with some of them who aren't ever going to step foot in Anfield. And again, no disrespect to anyone who can't get over for a game, but when you're speaking to locals, have a bit of fucking respect for people who travel around the world watching Liverpool and pay money to watch them when you're paying a fucking Fire-Stick subscription, you know what I mean? So you've got people saying about fucking how he needs to go and we need to save our season, and it's the manager bounce. If you get that manager bounce and the fucking uplift of a new manager, it lasts 3 games unless you get the fucking right manager. So to change him now for the manager bounce, you might win 3 games then lose 5. So what's the fucking point? Unless you're getting the right man at the right time, it doesn't work. So yeah, you've got to stick with him unless it's untenable, unless he cannot be there anymore because the players won't play for him. And as I said, that could come Saturday if we lose the next 2 games. I think that would be the point for me where you go. You can put every excuse on the table. You can weigh it all up. But why is it February and we're out of competitions and there's no real sign of us getting better? Why are we still going 1-0 up at home and shitting ourselves and being negative? Why is that still a thing? The transition period should be close to the end now, and we're not looking any better. Individuals are looking better. Systematically, we're not looking much better. And the confidence of the players isn't looking much better, and the feeling around the club is probably the worst I've witnessed since Hodgson. So, yeah, something's got to give, and whether it be in the right direction with the manager, happy days. If not, it's got to be done soon.
Yeah, I agree. Look, what I wanted to finish with today was a bit of a. So I'd planned on this after the Bournemouth game, but then we never done one. after the Bournemouth game, so that would have been negative. And then I thought we'll do it after the Newcastle game. Would have been a bit more positive. We never ended up doing one after the Newcastle game, so now it's back to probably end up going to be in a bit negative. But what I want to do, because I think there's a lot of players who we really should be looking to move on in the summer, and I want to go through the squad and ask you and go through it whether you keep them or get rid. Um, I want you to try and be just focus on now, like, because obviously we've still got a lot of players in the squad who've been here for years and won all kinds for us and are absolute fucking legends of the club. But I want you to put that to one side and just go with the here and now and what Liverpool needs at this moment out of these players, and if they're capable of doing that. So you can give me keep or sell. You can elaborate on them if you want. That's entirely up to you. Going in position order, number order in that sense as well, because I've just fucking took it off the website. So I made sure I got them all down. So first, Allison.
Keep.
Like I'm.
No, it's Alisson Becker. He's slowing down a little bit. He's having to do a lot more than he usually has to do in games. But when called upon, he's usually there to save us. But yeah, he's getting down a little bit slower. And yesterday was just one of them. I think it was a soft penalty. I think the ball's completely gone as well. So I hate that. I think if it's a goal scored an opportunity and he fouls him, give the penalty. If he's already shot and put the ball wide and then you clatter him, then it's not. But forget about that. Yeah, keep Alisson. But I think it is coming to a point soon where he's got to be getting forced to play well. He doesn't just start.
There's a part of me, a very, very small part of me, that says to let him go in the summer. Very, very small, very, very, very small. Don't get me wrong, but I just think I don't want to. I don't want to see him get to that Pepe Reina at the end of his time stage with us. You know what I mean? Where you're getting into a game and you're just thinking, right, what's he going to do today to fuck up for us? Because he's not there. He's nowhere near that yet. Don't get me wrong, but that's what I mean. I just don't want to see him get to that position, because if anyone will know who remembers watching Reina, first 3 or 4 seasons he was fucking outstanding for us, and then towards the end of his time you were just thinking, right, what's he going to do today? How is he going to mess up today? And the one that always sticks in my mind is at City, where he's fucking on the edge of the box with Aguero, who's, don't get me wrong, how Aguero scores that from the fucking corner flag essentially. Fair play to him, but it got to a point with Reina, and I don't want to see Alisson get to that point. But I think overall, yeah, I am keeping him. I've said it for a few weeks, his distribution with his feet is lacking nowadays.
He's done well yesterday, though. He set us on the
Yeah,
front
no,
a few times.
See, when he kicks it out of his hand, yeah, he's fucking absolutely fucking sound. It's when it's on the floor, he hasn't got that sort of power to get it up. The amount of times he sort of just gets it to halfway and gives it away. But it's only when it's on the floor. When he kicks it out of his hand, he's fucking sound.
But if you think back to how we've always played, he's passed it to the centre half or the full back. So he doesn't kick off the ground.
It could be another.
He's ever had have been out of his hands.
Leave him alone. But no, I do think overall, yeah. Keep Mamardashvili. I think for the simple fact that we've clearly earmarked him as the future, he's an easy keep.
Couldn't fucking agree or disagree. Seen nothing of him to say he's good or bad, really. He's had a few games, never done much wrong. Looks a little bit shaky. Doesn't convince me that he's unbelievable, but again, that's the difference when you're playing behind Alisson. I think Alisson's the best in the world, and I still think he's got a few years left in him, but I just would like someone to be pushing him a bit more. Yeah, wouldn't be asked that. I wouldn't give a fuck if he was gone, I'll be honest.
Fair enough. Some of these are a bit random because I've just picked people who've been sort of in and around the first team either this season or in previous years. Freddie Woodman, couldn't give a fuck either way, in all honesty. Played one game, didn't really do anything worthwhile in that game. He's clearly there to be third choice and play very, very, very rarely. So, yeah, whatever. Pesci, the young Hungarian keeper. I haven't really seen much of him. I don't really keep that up to date with the under-21s and stuff like that. But from what I've heard, he's sound. He's a fucking great keeper. I think he's like 19, 20, so he's one for the future. And yeah, we've paid money for him, paid a decent amount for him from where he's come from and his age. It's a decent amount. Yeah, I think you keep him.
How old is he?
Like 19, 20.
So if he's 19, 20 and he looks good and he might progress into the first team, we'll probably sell him, because that's what we done last summer. So again, I've lost that little bit of faith in us bringing young players through in that, because I feel like when they get to a point where they could be really good and influential in the squad, and like the Harvey Elliott, that your Tyler Mortons, it's like, no, I'd rather buy someone, and that's the difference in the club at the minute. But yeah, he watched a few clips of him and he looks all right. He looks like got a spring in his step as well, so he looks like he can get about a bit.
Definitely. Joe Gomez.
Shoot. Love the lad. I think he gave everything he could give on a football pitch to us. On his game, one of the best centre halves that has partnered Van Dijk. Unfortunately, he is made of fucking Rice Krispies, and no matter what happens, and it must be heartbreaking for him, obviously. But whatever happens, he can't play a run of games, and it's just a waste of a wage and a waste of a position to keep relying on a player that you can't play in case he gets injured. So we're like, oh, we'll be all right at right back because we've got Gomez, or we'll be all right at centre half because we've got Gomez, but we can't play him. We like the idea of him being able to come on if we need him to come on, but we're scared to bring him on because we know he's going to get injured.
Yeah.
So for me, he'd be gone.
Yeah, I sadly agree. Heart says keep, head says sell.
Yeah.
For all the reasons you've just mentioned. I have half jokingly said we're not allowed to get rid of him until he scores a goal, but there is you run the risk of him playing until he's 65 then. And he'll still only be on 300 games. So yeah,
in a wheelchair, I think.
I know, yeah. So yeah, as I say, heart says keep, but head says go. Van Dijk.
If we could get money for him, I think I'd let him go, to be honest.
Yeah, I can't disagree, if I'm being completely honest. Yeah, it's a difficult one with him, isn't it? Because I just don't. We've seen him at the very highest standards in the modern game, and it's hard to say, like, it's hard to sort of see him. He's dropped to the level of just your sort of top level Premier League defender, and because his level's been so much higher than that, the drop off looks absolutely fucking enormous. But it's not as big as it seems. You know what I mean? It's just his level has been that high for that 2 or 3 seasons before his injury, where he was untouchable, and he's not that anymore, unfortunately.
I'm one of the only ones who's like, I've argued to trust that he's not the best ever centre half in the league, and he's not the best ever centre half to Liverpool from the way it's going right the way through. I don't think he's reached the levels. I think even I've said before, the likes of Sammy Appiah and that to get disregarded, but he done everything Van Dijk done. At a really good level against really tough opponents. So I think it's a bit disrespectful the way people say, oh, he's fucking pisses all over the other centre halves, and I disagree. I think he's been forced enough to play in a Liverpool team that was always on the front foot, and there wasn't really a lot of defending to do. And he had players like Wijnaldum, he's had players like Henderson, Fabinho to cover that area when we were in a bit of shit. And we haven't got none of that now. And when he's asked to defend, he struggles. When he's one-on-one with players, he struggles. When he's got to make a decision quick, he often struggles. I watched him get bullied quite a bit yesterday by Haaland. Lost loads of duels with him. And then he grew into it the second half. He looks like, he used to be, you'd say, a bit superhuman. Never looked like anything fazed him. He looked a bit nervous yesterday and a little bit worried. this is knee-jerk reactionary for Van Dijk because we know how good he has been. But yeah, I think we've seen his best days. I think as a leader, I think it's hard to have that level of quality around you and not be influential. Whether you don't believe in the manager or not, your captain should be able to get a bit more out of you, and he's not doing that either. And yeah, I think some are targeting him a little bit. I don't think he's as good as he's being made out to be. And I think he has dropped off quite a bit. The most frustrating thing for me, I've started calling him David James. Because every time he makes a mistake or he fucks up, he blames someone else. And he's waving his arms around and then he's smirking and snarling and you're like, just fucking grow up, man. Come on. You've just fucked up yourself there and you're waving your arms around blaming someone else. Just own up, you fucked up. You're allowed to fuck up, you're a human being. Just own it. Rather than waving your arms around. So, yeah, I'm not saying sell. If someone come in with a big fee for Van Dijk for the name and he was willing to go, I think I'd take it.
Yeah. I think he's obviously he's someone you want around for the likes of Leone coming back and Xhaka coming in the summer. He's somebody they'll want to learn from, and I think he's still worth keeping in that respect. But yeah, if say like fucking Saudi come in with a 50 mil bid for him or something in the summer, then yeah, I think the club have got to at least probably consider it.
I think similar to Alisson as well. You don't want to see him in a position where he's like. I think you're a bit far-fetched with the Alisson one because he's a goalie, but I think in terms, I know what you mean with Reina because Reina went to complete shit. But with Van Dijk, I think it was a Carragher leave the game before the game leaves you sort of thing. I think you slowly see him slowing down and he's got levels. If he went to somewhere like Italy or Germany or something, years and years and years to go. I think it's just a hard situation with us as well. He's playing with a different partner. He doesn't know who's playing next to him the other side a lot of the time. We don't really have any cover in the midfield. So the system has changed and it's getting a bit more difficult for him. So, if we were to go out and buy a fucking number 6 who's going to only sit in front of our defence next season to shore us up, then I think you see a bit of a better Van Dijk again. But I think at the moment, it's just like, even if you lose a few leaders, can it get much worse than what we're at the minute? I wouldn't really be asked.
No. Kanate.
Based on the last 2 games, keep. He's looked boss. I think I've said before, I'm not his biggest fan. I think he reminds me of Sacco on ice. I think he could be absolutely brilliant for 89 minutes and then cost you the game with fuck-ups that no other player would see coming. But when he's good, he's really good. When he's bad, he's really bad. This season, he's been worse than I've ever seen him. But you don't know what he's been going through at home. Don't know whether the dad was ill or whatever. So again, you take stuff like that into consideration. The drop off. They turn up for work at the end of the day. And it doesn't matter how much money you're on. You turn up for work with shit going on at home. You don't really give a fuck about your work. You're just thinking, can't wait to get home to FaceTime your dad or whatever. So again, he's a human. He's been going through a bit of shit. He's had a tough. I don't know whether his dad was ill or whatever. It could be completely blown that out of proportion, and he could have just got sick over a couple of days and died. But regardless, we don't know. So the fact of the matter is, he's a really good player who can make mistakes. He should be better than he is because he's played alongside Van Dijk. But not all the top clubs in Europe don't want you if you're completely shite. So there's got to be a player there. He's still young enough to learn. As I say, when he's on it, and with the personality he's got, he can be massive for Liverpool. So, yeah, at this moment in time, he's a keep. And now, there's been times where I said I'd fucking take him to the airport myself to let him join Madrid because he's absolutely chronic. But the last few weeks, he's shown the level he's at. And when he's at that level and he stays at that level, he's brilliant. It's just keeping him there. So, yeah, keep. I think he's going to go. I don't think we're going to pay the money for him. And again, another situation Arnie Slot's getting dealt with. I've never known anything like these contact situations. All last year, it was all about fucking Salah and Van Dijk. And then this year, it's about Kanate and Szoboszlai's fucking and ahhing about it. And Gravenberch is and ahhing where to sign. Because they're not made to feel like they're fucking wanted when they're going into negotiations. So he's been dealt that hand where our hierarchy is trying to penny pinch on contracts. And it's lost us Mark Gay. And we could lose another 3 or 4 players because of it. So, yeah, I feel sorry for him there. But I do understand you don't just offer players like Kanate 300, 350 grand a week because he's not at that level. And that's where you have a negotiator to say, listen, we believe you can be here, but at the minute you're there. So, till you get there, that's open for negotiation when you get there, but you're not there. So, that's fine. So, I don't think we'll pay him. So, I think he'll be gone.
Yeah, I do think he'll go. I'd prefer to keep him. I think, like you said, there's a player in there you're not wanted by some of the teams he's been wanted by if you're not a fucking very good player. So, yeah, like you say, with his dad, I don't know the situation how it was myself, but if that was obviously playing on his mind for a long time, then you sort of understand and not excuse the season he's had, but you give him a bit of credit. You cut him a bit of slack, and like you say, Newcastle, I thought he was fantastic yesterday. Don't think he'd really done much wrong. So yeah, if he can maintain that level, then it's a no-brainer to keep him. But as we've seen over the years with him, it's how likely is he going to keep that level up? But yeah, at this moment in time, I'd probably keep him.
I'm literally basing all this off the last month, so I'm just going.
That's fine. That's fine. Kerkez should be an easy one. Keep 100%.
Absolutely phenomenal yesterday. Loved it.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Our best player by a mile. Playing alongside Gakpo must make you want to fucking punch yourself in the face because the amount of times that poor cunt bursts up that wing and all you've got to do is play the ball into him and he's got to put it across the box and he cuts inside. He done it twice yesterday. So that Kerkez got off the halfway line. He just walked back to our goal with a cob on because it was a goal. He was fucking raging and I felt sorry for him. Thought he was brilliant. Think said all along, you're seeing signs of Andy Robbo, young, fucking rash, out of his depth a little bit, playing in a team that he never dreamed he'd ever play for. And the hunger in him's there. And I think sometimes determination beats talent. If the talent wasn't there, I'd still back him based on how keen he is to do his job. So, yeah, 100% nailed on start of Liverpool next season.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's been brilliant lately, even in games where we haven't played well and games we've lost. I don't think he's had a bad game in the last sort of month or two. I think he's really started. He's one who's grown into the team now and he's made the position his own, similar to, like you say, when Robbo first come into the side, he fucking couldn't get in over Alberto Moreno of all people. And then, second half of the season, he pushed on and he was nailed on started. And I think Kerkez has done the same. I just don't, he probably won't get as much credit for it as he deserves because of how bad everything else has been around him. So,
one of the ones with the agenda against him, there was people yesterday blaming him for City attacks and stuff, and I was like, he put us on the front foot every time he had it. He just tried to push us up the pitch, so I've got no issue with him at all. I think
no, me neither.
He'll make mistakes because he is fucking rash and he's keen. He'll get a few red cards here and there, and he might slip and fucking do mad shit because he's that keen to just get us going, and I'm all day with that.
Yeah, me too. Conor Bradley.
So, give him away. He's another one. If he was a horse, you'd shoot him. It's our last because he's a really good player. Similar to Kerkez on that side where he's going to get stuck in and he's that keen to get you on the front foot, that he's going to get injuries and that, but he's constantly injured. He's had and again, I remember putting his thing out years ago and Chris Kirkland having a go at me and saying, like, you don't know how it feels like to be in that position where you can't do your job because of injuries. And I'm like, when you put it like that, it's not, we know that they're not wanting to be injured and we know it must be heartbreaking for him. But from, if I was off sick for a year and I worked in Tesco, they'd just say, you're sacked.
Yeah.
Because you can't do your job because you're always sick. So for me, I look at it that what use is he to Liverpool when he can't stay fit for 6 weeks? He's no use to us. So again, I think he's going to be one of them players where you think his ceiling was so high, and he's going to end up at someone like fucking Swansea or someone because it's just like he's never going to be fit, and I feel sorry for him. I think we've overhyped him a little bit as well. I think because of the fucking issues with Trent and the difference in play, what he offered when we were struggling defensively, he was a little bit better defensively than Trent because he fixated on defending more than going forward. But yeah, I think when you're out for that long, I just don't think there's anything. I think it's horrible. I think it's a horrible situation, lads, being that injured all the time. But he's constantly injured, so I put him in the same category as Gomez for the benefit of himself, for the benefit of the club. Give him a fresh start somewhere.
Yeah, as much as I want to, I don't want to. Rather, I agree with you. Yeah, I think if you were just basing it purely on ability, then you're keeping him all day long. But you know, it's that cliched fucking saying is the best ability is availability, and sadly, he doesn't have that at all, very much. Yeah, you can't. Unfortunately, you can't rely on him because of that. And I just think, yeah, it probably would be in his best interests to look elsewhere, where the pressure isn't going to be as much on him, where he hasn't got to sort of try and kill himself to get back early ahead of schedule and stuff like that, and risk another injury. And not, is he not taking the time to let the injuries heal properly and stuff like that? Is he going into the medical team and going, yeah, I'm ready, when he's not, kind of thing? Because he is that kind of fucking player. You can see it in him. He is the type of player where if he's broke 3 toes, he'll wait till one of them's healed and then go, he's sound. You know what I mean?
And I get it. You can't knock it because you can see how much it means for him to be on the pitch, and I'd love nothing more for him to be fit all the time because there is a player there, and I think what he gives the crowd when he's playing, the way he flies with the tackles and stuff, and he gets us on the front foot. They're the type of players you want to see in a red shirt playing for Liverpool because they're hungry. But if I was to sit down with you realistically and go, who's the best right back in the league? There's no conversation of Conor Bradley. There's no talk of him amongst them types of players. But we need better players. We need better individuals. I think the conversation with us over Szoboszlai playing right back, he's playing there because unfortunately he's good everywhere. Unfortunately for players like that, the versatility. I think Milner said it once that his worst thing in football was being so versatile. He should have said no from the beginning because he'd have played centre mid the way he wanted to play. But he was good left back, right back, fucking anywhere. Right mid, left mid. He played everywhere. So unfortunately, when you're that good, I think if you to ask, I think Szoboszlai is probably a better right back than Bradley. I think we look better when Szoboszlai is right back. The problem is Szoboszlai is too good in midfield to play in right back. So I think if you can buy another Szoboszlai to play centre mid, leave him right back. But yeah, I would. I think for his own benefit, I'd let him go. And I'd like, don't get me wrong, it's fucking harsh because he's out for a year, and I wouldn't do anything cruel on it for his career. But I think if he comes back and he gets injured again, time to go. If he comes back and he doesn't get injured for a year and he has an absolute stormer, absolutely, I'd love to eat my words and be made up, be delighted. But I just think he's one of them players who's always going to be hampered with injuries.
Yeah, me too. Leone.
Seen him for 30 minutes, looked an absolute beast. Maldini said he was going to be brilliant. Keep at all costs. Again, fingers crossed that injury hasn't ruled him out for the rest of his life, because that's a killer of an injury. And it's the same with Bradley, them type of injuries, just they play on your mind for a bit. I done my ACL when I was about 18, played till I was 20, then got my operation. And then you come back after your operation, you're like, if one of them screws comes out my ligament, I fucking can't go to work, can't walk. So yeah, I understand that's a bit near when you've had an injury, but I think you say, you can come back better or you can flap. So fingers crossed. He looks he looked a unit.
Yeah, he did. He looked unbelievable.
And again, I think he was only playing Southampton or something, weren't so you don't know what level he's going to be at, but he looks like he could be a superstar.
Yeah, he does. He does. 100% keep. That's an easy one. Andy Robbo. I'm just gonna jump in with this one myself, and I only say this because I think it's happening anyway, and I think he's going. I don't think he's going to sign a new deal, and I do think he's going to end up fucking either at Spurs or Celtic or something. I do think he's going to go, and purely because I think it's going to happen anyway. That's the only reason I'll say go.
I'd love him to stay, and I'd love him to stay because he's getting minutes, and unfortunately, he's too good a player to sit on the bench and not get any minutes. He's not going to be happy with 10 minutes a week. He's not going to be happy with League Cup games because he's too good. I'd be pissed off if he went to Spurs because I think he's too good for Spurs. I don't think he's a guaranteed start at Spurs either, which is annoying. I'd absolutely love for him to get a move to Celtic. I think that'd be perfect for him. But yeah, I'd love him to sign, and I'd love him to be offered the chance to get back into the team, and I would. I'd have him there all day as backup. I think you need leaders who lead, and he does lead by example, vocally and professionally, and the way he plays football. So I'd love to keep him, but I do sadly think he's going.
Yeah, and that's exactly where my head's at. I'd love nothing more for us to give him a new deal, even if it's only for the year, and let him try and get back into the squad and that. But I just don't see any scenario where that happens, which is the only reason I'm saying that he's going. Frimpong.
Keep
Yeah,
him.
I think he's an easy one, to be honest, at the minute.
Keep as a winger. I don't think I think you can get a better right back who's going to be a bit more physical defensively, but also you need backup for him because he's gone. His injuries, he's going to be out 3 or 4 weeks, every 3 or 4 weeks because he's explosive and he's going to get injuries. Although he hardly ever got an injury at Leverkusen, so it's fucking whatever we're doing to people, stop doing it because everyone can't stay fit.
Yeah,
but again, it's contradicted that because of you're saying about fucking Bradley, and he's always injured and that. But Frimpong's had 2 injuries since he's been at Liverpool, both pretty long spells to be fair, not bad but I said as soon as we got him, you're gonna have to have someone similar to him who's explosive. So when Frimpong's injured, the other one can come in because he is just dynamite. He's gonna hurt himself because he's just like a fucking kangaroo. He's mad.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. He's an easy keep for me. I think he's really improved over the last couple of months or so. He's been one of our most dangerous players going forward, as you say. And he's just got something about him, and he's got that bit of magic in him, which I think we all knew he had it when we signed him, but I don't think we kind of expected it to be the thing we were most impressed by with him. But I think there's been even I think there's even been the odd occasion now where he has looked good defensively. I think it was Arsenal. I thought he'd done all right defensively there as well. So he's got it in his locker, but I do think he's better served as a winger, as you say.
Yeah, I haven't got no issues with him defensively. I just think, he's probably a bit too good going forward that he shouldn't have to concentrate on defending as much. I think, if he was playing where Salah plays, I look at the big picture and I look at another left winger, or for instance, Ekatike on the left, with Frimpong on the right, with Isak leading the line and Vert behind them, and Szoboszlai in the middle, ready for any balls bouncing out to the box, and another centre mid. You're getting goals left, right, and centre. You've just got a force to be reckoned with, and then you have players. The problem is that's all your best players in one area of the pitch. If any of them get a knock, that's our problem, is our depth at the minute. But Frimpong playing there on the shoulder of the last man, with players like Juventus, Ekatike, Isak bombarding the box, it's a free for all goals galore.
Yeah.
in my dream world. But whether it works that way, whether that's the system we go for, but if I was a manager, I'm footy manager now. That's the system I'm playing.
Yeah, no, I agree. Let's try and get through these next ones a bit
No, fucking
faster.
hell, lad.
Didn't expect to take this long on this, so let's try and go a bit more faster with these. So, Calvin Ramsey, for his own good, sell.
Yeah, sell. Yeah, give him away.
He's not getting a look in.
Release him into the wild.
Yeah, he's not getting a look in. Slot obviously doesn't want to play him. No point him just sitting on our bench and not even playing in the under-21s or nothing like that. He might as well just go.
Sell.
Who's next? Endo.
Again, for his own self, sell, because it's a fucking waste of time. Struggling defensively, struggling to keep a lead, struggling to fucking win the ball back. There's a player there who was a fan favourite because of he done all of that. Took him out the team. But you might see him play right back next week, so you don't know.
Yeah.
But I'd just let him go and release him into the wild as well. Because, again, I think there's players there who he's just taken, you know, he bigs up in the media and that, but he's took a dislike to his ability. When, don't get me wrong, it'd be nice to have a better player than Endo on your bench, but when it comes to fucking guts and grit, he's got it all. And when you need it, you bring him on for 5 minutes at games when you need him to fucking win. So, yeah, get rid of him.
Yeah.
Through spite more than anything because I love him. But I think, I wouldn't play.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I don't want him to go. But at the same time, he's not the level we need at this moment in time. But at the same time, there was that running gag last season where we brought him on and everyone was fucking sharing that Rafa Benitez meme where he takes his glasses off as if the game's done. That was the impact he was having. He's there to just see games out, and we're not utilising him in the only way that seems worth utilising him at the minute. So let him go. Let him go and finish his career back in Japan or something if he wants to. It's just pointless for him.
Probably too good. He'd probably go straight back to German league or the fucking Italian league and be chance and play every week. I don't get when you're struggling and you were desperate, saying we're desperate for a number 6. Fucking start him. I said this as soon as the lull started coming and we started losing games and started leaking goals. Play Endo. Put him the first fucking person on your team sheet should be Endo because all his sole interest in doing is defending. Put him in front of Van Dijk and Canate and leave him there. And that's it. Let your fullbacks go up a bit and fucking give us a chance to score them and have a player there who's going to win you the ball back, whether it kills him or not. And that's what we need in our team at the minute, and he won't play him. So again, I don't get it. But if I was him, I'd be gone. I'd love to keep him.
Yeah. I'm going to say these next two together because these should be the easiest answer of every single person on the list, maybe barring one. Verts and Soboslai.
Keep.
Yeah. No explanation needed with them two. Going to move right on. This is a conversation that probably needs to be had now, McAllister.
So, not going into it. For me, I'm going to go into it. Now, seems to have he's had an injury through the summer, so he hasn't had a proper pre-season, as we know. He's been injured. He's struggled. He's come back nowhere near the player we expected. He's done a Fabinho. He's slowed down a lot. His legs have gone a lot. He's slower on the ball. Doesn't get us on the front foot as often as the odd shot. So.
Yeah, like I say, I wanted you to base it on this season, and based on this season, he is a sell. You can't escape it. He's been shite all season, for lack of a better way of putting it. He's had a bad season, and on current form right now. So, Curtis Jones.
It's fucking hard because I think I'd sell half of these cunts at the moment. Loan. No, I'd keep him, but I wish he was fucking pushing the others more to get a starting place, and I wish he was more influential when he was on the pitch. Don't think he does a lot wrong, but he doesn't grab a game, and when he's coming out to the media saying, "Fucking, we should be doing this, and we should be doing," well, go and do it. Go and fly in and tackle. Don't shit yourself, and stop holding on to the ball for so long. So, I'd like to see him play again, my idea, I'd love to see like fucking Enzo behind Szoboszlai and Jones, so we had a bit more of an attack. We had the security of a number 6, but we had 2 players who could get on the front foot. But I'd keep Jones.
Yeah, I'd keep Jones. I think, yeah, that's been a big criticism of him for years, that he holds onto the ball too long. But I think this season, if you sort of, I know people don't like to just sort of look at the stats, but if you look at them, his progressive passes are one of the best in the league. His ball retention's one of the best in the league. His the amount of passes forward he plays per 90 is one of the best in the league. I think he's quite sort of press resistant at times. Um, there's a player in there. It's just, I don't know. He's never really been allowed to unleash it properly. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
I'd keep him.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't know whether he's being held back by the system, but there was times where he looked like he was playing more of a number 8 and he was getting forward a little bit, and yeah, got the odd goal and assist and that. But his numbers in terms of goals and assists are shocking for a centre mid, but he doesn't play all that much, to be fair. And when
No.
he does put us on the front foot a bit. But I just want to see a bit more of him. I want to see
Yeah.
that fucking scouser in him come out in every game where he's got the fight and hunger to grab the game and win.
Yeah, I agree. Gravenberch.
Yeah, again, doesn't do a lot wrong. I think he's had a poor season by the standards he set himself the season before. He's being utilised in a position that's not his own. He's made it his own, but he's being caught out. Now, when he does that half turn, he gets caught a lot more than he was doing. But he's a good player. I like Gravenberch, so yeah, we could keep him.
Yeah, I'd keep him. Yeah, like you say, by last season's standards, he's had a poor season, but I think overall he's still been all right for the most part. So yeah, I think he's a fairly easy one for me. Next 3 are like a bit not really involved in the first team, and one not at all. I don't think he exists anymore. But Trainioni,
Keep Neoni.
I'd loan him out because he
We've
does.
sold McAllister.
Yeah,
I've loaned Jones.
no, I just think he doesn't play that often. He's on the bench all the time, but he very, very rarely comes on. And I just think when he plays, like he's played against like Southampton and he's played a couple of League Cup games and stuff like that here and there, and I just think he looks great on the ball. I just think he looks a bit lightweight. I think he gets knocked off the ball too easy. I think he needs a full season of playing first team football. Send him on loan to a championship team for the season and just let him get some football in his legs.
I just think the problem we've got is again our depth. So I think if we sell the players we said we'll sell and we get rid of the younger players, we haven't got a squad. And that's the reality of it. You'd have to replace him with someone who was going to be happy to sit on the bench. And maybe, for instance, if you're going to do that, you put McAllister on the bench and you buy a superstar. But no, I think I like him when I've seen him. I think he does, for his size, I think he does a really good job. I think it's shocking that he has that role. But I think, he needs to bulk up a little bit. But I think there's a good player in there. I like him. So
I agree 100%.
It only benefits. Don't forget as well, he's training day in day out with the level of quality of the players that are there. So he's only learning. He just needs to be released onto the pitch. But again, if you're a young kid, you don't really get the chance at us anymore. So,
this next player again, I haven't seen any photographs of him for a long time, so he may not actually be a real person anymore. But Stefan Bajcetic.
So made the glass, always injured. And
he's been injured for 3 years now, hasn't he?
Every time you think he's going to make that next step, he goes missing. And again, I don't know whether that's down to us or him, but yeah, he possibly doesn't exist anymore. So I'd let him be gone.
Yeah. Just come back from loan from Ajax, James McConnell.
Decent player, again, squad player, probably at best. He's done all right when he's played, to be fair, and he's got that little hunger in him that he could do good things because he's determined. But again, I think in this day and age, you look back at your superstars from the past, your Gerrards, and you have to be doing it week in, week out, and you have to be chomping at the bit to replace someone in that first 11. And I don't think any of the kids in our squad at the minute are doing that. But I think you still need them there to make the numbers up, and eventually, hopefully, that comes. But yeah, I can keep him.
Yeah, I like McConnell. I think every time I've seen him, he's played all right. I think I've heard Slot's a big fan of him. I just feel like,
Now, so we're going to sell him.
yeah, I don't know. I just think with him, he's going to end up finding himself in the position Tyler Morton found himself at, where he's in the he's amongst the squad all the time. He's always around, and he's on the bench all the time. But he'll play 4 times a season.
Yeah, that's
Um,
for me is that. I say that's the complete difference of what Klopp brought us. Kids got a chance, and they never got blamed for fucking up or winning trophies.
But yeah, I mean, you've only got to look at Trent, haven't you? He's the perfect example. He come into the team because Nathaniel Klein was out, and he never looked back. And now, we've got no right backs. Fucking auxiliary right back Soberslide is now out, and we're going to find another one in a position he doesn't play it, instead of giving a kid a chance like we would have done if it was Klopp. And again, it's difficult in the situation because of where we are and how the league's going and all that. And I think maybe if we were top of the league or something, or if we were close with Arsenal, maybe we would give them a little bit more of a chance. But I don't know. It's just it's not going to happen. So
again,
yeah.
a paid journalist to say, what's your problem with Ramsey? Why have you got a right back on your bench who plays right back, whose natural position is right back, but you won't play him when you need a right back?
Yeah.
And
you've got 3 midfielders ahead of him at right back.
Yeah, and I don't get it. So yeah, and again, if I was Ramsey and he said to me, "Listen, it's your time to say fuck off, I'm not playing." Put end up there, you tit.
But yeah, no, I do like McConnell. I think he's a decent player, but I just think he'll end up being wasted. But I would
This
like
is
to keep him.
bordering on 40 minutes of us talking about the squad.
I know. So we're nearly finished anyway. There's only like a few left. Isak.
Apologies to everyone. Isak, fucking couldn't tell you whether to keep him or not. Seen nothing of him. When I've seen him, doesn't look like a Liverpool player. Doesn't look like he fits our system currently, but he's got what he's done for Newcastle. He's an unbelievable striker in the right team. So obviously you're keeping him.
Yeah, keep him. Hopefully he can fucking push on from the injury and have a good season next season. But yeah, you've got to give him time. You don't spend that much money on him to just fucking throw him away after the season, do you? So yeah, keep him.
The problem you've got with Isak is, as far as I'm concerned, and I've said this about everyone, I've said it about when Kelleher was playing well, but Alisson come back. There's not a chance in hell he starts ahead of Ekitike.
No.
Because Ekitike is everything you want from a Liverpool striker. Absolutely everything we desire from a Liverpool striker. Ekitike's got it. So you're going to ask me to keep or sell him, keep him, give him a new contract, make sure, keep him safe, and give him the number 9 shirt, because that's what you want from our fucking number 9. Is what he's doing. So for me, Isak's had a tough start to his Liverpool career. He's come in as the big name, the big money signing. He's no longer that to me. To me, he is now the backup for Ekitike. And if Ekitike is happy to play on the left and play with him, or you play 4-4-2 and you play both of them together, so be it. But if there's a moment when Ekitike goes out that team because of Isak, whoever makes the decision needs to punch him in the face.
Fair enough. I guess we can skip Ekitike when we get to him in a minute. Because, yeah, I mean, he's an obvious keep anyway. But Salah?
It's hard. Leadership qualities, you need to keep him. Performance, he's not going to get any better. He's done. He's got moments of magic still in him. Legs have gone in terms of getting him behind. I think you could see that yesterday. As soon as the contact was on him, he didn't have that in him to try and get the ball. He had to stop because he was fucked. He was gassing out. I've never seen him look a bit short of breath. He looked goosed. He's still a phenomenal athlete, fantastic footballer. But if we could get money for him and get a younger version of him, then you've got to go for it, because we were at our best this season when he wasn't playing, unfortunately. And he's come back and we've gone back to shit. And I don't 100% put that on him. I don't think the system suits him. And again, he's lost strength. He's not playing with a fucking right back. There's a lot of things hampering his game, but with the fallout and all that, I think he'd be quite happy to just see this season go and then go and get a big payday somewhere. And I think if anyone deserved it, it's him. So for his
Mm.
own selfishness, for his own self, what he deserves, if he can get a big payday and we can make a few quid, I'd do it.
Mm. Yeah, I agree. As I say, basing it just on this season, it's not. It's it seems fickle to do it with Salah, basing it just on this season. But you know, he, like you say, his legs look like they've gone. He's not able to. He's not impacting the games anymore. He's just not really. He's not. He's not the same Salah anymore, unfortunately.
I do
And
think a
yeah,
lot of it down to what's going on with the rest of the team. I think the system, he's not, doesn't really get played in behind often. He's still getting the ball and trying to find the back post and that. And yeah, he's just slowed down a little bit, hasn't he? And we're not as progressive in like the counter attack and that either, which was his game, which was getting us on the front foot out and not on in a flash, and he was getting in behind, and we're not doing it anymore. So I think if Arnie's lost the manager of Liverpool in the summer, then I think the best thing to do is sell Salah. If you get someone who's going to play football and attack, then there's still life in him to do that if you utilise him properly. But asking him to run up and down all game and defend and fucking cut in and cut out and what he's doing without the ball, all his works without the ball. That's never been his job, and now everything he's doing is effectively without the ball. So I think he's another player who's wasted at us because we're not playing to suit him. So yeah, wouldn't be. I'd be made up if he went. I'm glad we kept him in January because he deserves the big hurrah, the big ta-ra. I'd be fearful that if it got to another season, I think we might end up selling him in January and he misses that anyway. So
yeah.
I think it'd just be safe for all parties to say, listen, nice one, but go on and get your payday.
Yeah. Pains me, but I agree. Last few, let's try and run through these. Chiesa,
So
yeah, I agree. Love him. Absolutely think he's fucking just boss to have around, but I just don't think he's good enough.
I agree, and I think there's this fucking mad agenda that he's going to change games and win us games. He comes on, runs out like he's won a competition, gets booked, costs us the fucking possession because he's fouled someone, and then it's 5 minutes are over, and you're like, what the fuck was that all about? But yeah, like him, personality-wise, the song's good, but yeah, we need better players than that.
Yeah. Cody Gakpo.
So, give away, fucking teleport somewhere, just get him gone. He's shite.
It's annoying with Gakpo because last season he was great. I thought he was very, very good last season, and then this season he just hasn't done anything at all. Like you say, he's the most readable fucking player in the Premier League. You know exactly what he's going to do, and it's not the same as knowing what Salah's going to do because it's Salah. Yeah, you know what he's going to do, but it's fucking in his prime at least. Anyway, it was next to impossible to stop him. Whereas Gakpo, just he hasn't got that explosiveness. He hasn't got that ability. Like he cuts in all the time, and I don't think I've ever seen him. Certainly not this season. I don't think he scored on where he's cut in. It's killing our game every time he does it. And yeah, based on this season, you've got to sell him.
Yeah, he's too predictable. He's not exciting to watch because he doesn't try and beat a man. He does the cut in and he either dinks it to the back post without looking, never looks, or he just twats at the defender's legs. And don't get me wrong, when we signed him, he'd done it a few times and it went in, and it was nice to see. A bit like Adigi used to do it, drift out to the left, then cut in into it with his right. And it was enjoyable the first 5 times, and then you're doing it 3 times a game, and you're not getting it past the first man. When you've got a left back who's fucking ran 60 yards to assist you, to get up the pitch, to get us further up the pitch, to put the ball into the box, and you fucking cut in and it's at the defender's legs again. And he keeps doing it. So, again, I've got a little bit of fucking an agenda against Gakpo. I just think he's not good enough for Liverpool. I think I've seen him shit out of too many tackles. I've seen him pull out of tackles. I've seen him not get involved. I've seen him trotting back when we're getting counter-attacked and not really putting the work in. And he just doesn't. When I look at him, I don't see a Liverpool player. That's not to say if he starts doing things good, I'm going to sit here and go, no, he's still shit, because I'm not like that. I'd love him to be brilliant, but I just don't think he is. And I'm bored. As soon as the ball goes to Gakpo, that's my time to go for a pie or a berry or a fucking piss. As soon as he's got it, that's when I sit back down and go, nothing's happening, because I know what's going to happen. He bores me.
Yeah, can't disagree rather with everything you just said. Again, we already mentioned this fella. This is just the one word one. Ekatike, yeah, keep.
Oh, keep.
Engamoa.
Not going to go into it too much. I don't see the point of having him there because, again, you're struggling for a left winger and he's the player who's going to try and beat a man, make things happen. So through spite, I'd sell him. If I was him, I'd ask to leave because I don't see the point of him being there.
Yeah, we're not using him nearly enough, are we?
No.
He's sat on the bench every game, comes on maybe for 10, 15 minutes at the end of some games. Oddly enough, he seems to come on when we don't really need him. Like, I think he come on against Newcastle when the game's won, but then doesn't come on yesterday when you need somebody. Like, I don't know. Yeah, you've got to keep him. He's an unreal talent. You can see that he's going to be an absolute fucking world beater, but we've got to start fucking using him. And if we don't, then yeah, what's the point of him being here?
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's it. I think he's going to be class, but players like that, when they don't get utilised enough, and he probably not to say he needs to start every week, but give him half an hour and stop putting him in it. Like the Anfield Rapping that was saying it at the beginning of the season, he was like, "Oh, you shouldn't really use him when you're losing because it could upset him and we're repressing." No, he's fucking good enough, so play him, but don't only play him when you're losing. Put him in games where you think we can get at these from the off. Start him here and there. Start him 5 or 10 games a season. Bring him on for half an hour for 10 games a season and put him on every now and again when you're desperate for a goal. But utilise the lad. He's fucking good enough, and he puts us on. His sole purpose is to get us on the front foot and attack the fullback, and that's what we're absolutely desperate for at the minute. And again, the two things we desperately need at the minute is wingers who are going to run at fullbacks and a number 6 who's going to defend, and they're both sat on our bench.
Yeah, it's crazy. These last two are out on loan, but obviously they've been big part of the squad in recent seasons, so I'm including them for that purpose alone, based on the assumption that he will be back in the summer. Harvey Elliott.
Keep him. He should still be here now. Simple as that. I don't. And again, this is where you'll have your issue with the manager because he's like Benitez. As soon as he doesn't like a player for whatever reason, he's a cunt to you. And what's happening to Harvey Elliott is a fucking disgrace. We're not to blame for the loan situation at all. We agreed a deal with them. They took him based on knowing the fucking clause and that. So if you didn't agree with the clause, don't take him in the first place to sit on your bench because it's a waste of time. But no one's Salah was going to AFCON. No one was struggling on the right anyway in general. Letting him go was bizarre. So again, for his own sake, if Arne Slot's the manager, he's better off looking for a move. But if Slot's not there, get him back in the squad because he's good enough.
Yeah, I agree fully. And again, this is just because he's been around the squad the last few years and been a big part of it. But I think this might be a fairly straightforward answer. Tsimikas.
So,
yeah, again, similar to Chiesa, I like the lad. I think he's a great character to have around. I think obviously he gets on with all the rest of the team, but he's just not good enough.
The situation you've got is if Robbo goes and Tsimikas is happy to come in as a standby and be your left back, then I think he's good enough to be a second left back. I like him, but yeah, I just think I prefer Robbo was there and we had to sell him. But
yeah, me too. Well, that went on much longer than we anticipated and expected. But what's new with us? You're used to it by now.
I'm starving.
Jay hasn't ate anything, so look, we're going to wrap it up there. Thank you, everybody.
Not today.
Thank you, everybody, for fucking bearing with us and listening to us chat absolute fucking wet for nearly 2 hours. Appreciate you all. Love you all. We'll be back after the Sunderland game at some point. Up the Reds. Let's hope we fucking win.
I think I've just broke my chair, but yeah, up the Reds. Let's see what happens. Slot in until Saturday. If we've lost 2 games, slot out. Shake it all about.
There you go.